like to call the meeting to order. Do I have a motion? There he goes. Thank you. I'm looking for approval of minutes from the last meeting. Okay, that's good too. Reflections, Ron. Here you go.
Good afternoon. Let me get this thing open. Here we go. Our lesson for today. When life hands you lemons, consider yourself lucky and scurvy-free. If you see me talking to myself, just move along. I'm self-employed. We're having a staff meeting. Picked up a hitchhiker. Seemed like a nice guy. After a few miles, he asked me if I wasn't afraid he might be a serial killer. I told him the odds of 2 serial killers being in the same car were extremely unlikely. Humans are 90% water, basically cucumbers with anxiety. If you think you are smarter than the previous generation, 50 years ago, the owner's manual of a car showed you how to adjust the valves. Today, it warns you not to drink the contents of the battery. We can only blame ourselves for all the crime and violence today. We removed all the phone booths, and now Superman has nowhere to change. Growing your own tomatoes is the best way to devote 3 months of your life to saving $2.17. Chocolate is vital for our survival. Dinosaurs didn't have chocolate, and look what happened to them. Being an adult is hard, but can you imagine having to do math homework again? Just so you're aware, you can't hurt my feelings. I used to bring the wrong tool to my dad. Thus end the goodies for the day.
And just for the record, I could never understand the difference between screwdrivers. Okay, I'm going to take just a little aside here, and it's a public service announcement. Ask you all to please slow down. The speed limit is 15, and I drove here today at 15 miles an hour on the east side and on the west side, and it took me an extra 30 seconds. It's not that much. Keep your eyes out. Watch when you're turning. Watch for people. They walk early in the morning and they walk late at night. Please, please, please be careful. Wear your pendant. We'll discuss the rest of that part later. Okay, Anne, would you like to announce the election of officers?
I'm here to announce the slate of officers for the Wesley Willows Homes and Suites Residence Council for 2025 and 26. And they are Gail Holtzman, Ann Boleen, and Martha Lovison. Come on up, Martha. Come on down.
She was trying not to.
I know, I know. And now Carolyn will handle the voting.
I'm handling it. Are there any nominations from the floor? Seeing none, can I see an approval from the residents for this slate of officers? Oh, yay. Thank you so much. The new officers will take place at the July meeting. You still got the old officers until then. So, thank you very much. Invited guests. Well, I don't know what I did there. Okay, our employee of the month is Lori Morse. You should be able to see her picture. She's not here, but we'll talk about her anyway.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Carrie Van Skelven, Director of Residence Services, here to talk about Lori, even though she's not here. Happens to be on vacation this week. Lori was our April Employee of the Month, and I will say she was very shocked. She had no idea that she received Employee of the Month, or was going to, so it was a pleasure to give this to her. Lori demonstrates good customer service by being punctual for pickups, drop-offs, and meal delivery. She's always friendly to the residents, making them laugh and smile. She demonstrates teamwork and spirit by happily delivering inner office campus mail and items multiple times throughout the day. Picking up extra trips and deliveries to lessen the load for her coworkers and thinking of ways to accommodate last-minute requests. She keeps the workplace safe by assisting residents to and from the vehicle, making sure there is nothing in the pathway that would be a tripping hazard, and then once in the vehicle, ensuring that they are secured. Lori inspires seniors to celebrate life by carrying on conversations that are encouraging and lighthearted. She is the recipient of multiple hugs throughout the day from residents she transports. So when you see Lori, when she returns from her vacation, make sure you congratulate her and give her a big thank you and maybe an additional hug. Thank you.
Someone you should know. I saw the nurses wandering around. Beth Jokers and Nancy Lara. You're introducing yourselves? No, I'm going, wow, that's really impressive.
Hello everybody, my name is Ashley Romanowski. I'm the Director of Nursing on the skilled side of the facility. With me today I have Beth Yokers and Nancy Lara. Beth is our Medicare Nurse Manager and Nancy is our Social Services, so I will let them tell you a little bit about themselves.
Hello everybody. My name is Beth and I've been a nurse for more than half of my life. I'm not going to tell you how long exactly. I've started out in pediatrics clinics, Rockford gastroenterology. The running joke with them, the men would always say, if you find my head there, tell my wife. Also cardiac and long-term is where I ended up landing. I worked for Wesley Willows for 2 years now, and I absolutely love it. It is my favorite job ever. I love my team, and I hope to stay here for a very long time. Thank you.
My name is Nancy. I've worked with Wesley Willows for going on 13 years in July. I started off as a CNA in Willows Arbor, and then I transitioned to social services in January, and I am enjoying it so far, so I hope to stay very much longer with Wesley Willows.
It's important when we get to the Medicare unit, and we all will, that you have a friendly face. So thanks, ladies, for coming in. Now we're going to do, things have been changed up today. We're gonna do fitness resident of the month. Jill, are you here? No, Jill. Can you do the slide for a fitness member and then come back to us? Yes. Kimberly Rogers. This is everything I know. Kim, are you here? Can you stand up?
I are. I'm the fitness resident of the month. But I have to keep working really hard to just stay up, so.
Well, you and Nita should be sitting together.
Yes.
Okay, and our board member of the month is Dennis Roop.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dennis Roop. Had the privilege to be on the Board of Trustees, my gosh, going on 7-8 years now. And probably we should start out, people, what do you do on the Board of Trustees, right? Fair question. So I always like to say, first off, it's a way of having a structure where there's some accountability. It's a way that the board and the leadership team can work together and develop the vision, the strategies, and the execution to make this facility and the facilities of Wesley Willows top of class. And I think many of you agree that we continue to strive for that, and I think that we're very successful at that. So what else do we do? We create a vision, and I'm very proud to say just here in the last couple of weeks we passed the vision for 2030, and you might ask yourself, well, why do you go through that exercise? And say, I will tell you that the needs and the wants that you have 5 years from now are going to be different than what they are today, right? So what we try to do is we try to formulate ways of projecting what that might look like and putting a plan in place so that by the time that comes to be, we're prepared and we again deliver that world class. Another thing that we're real proud of, I see Brett in our crowd here today, and he's the CFO, Brett Nelson, and he and his team put together a budget, and again, guardrails. And you may say, oh, what's a budget? For a facility and an entity of this size, what you have to go through to have a viable budget that again provides the guardrails, that's big, and it allows us again to manage in a manner that provides just at the end of the day top class facility like you're enjoying. So that'll give you just a little insight as to the things we do. It has been a privilege for me personally to have been on the board. And the thing that I want to leave you with is because of being on the board, we spent a lot of time with the leadership team, led by Francis. I can tell you, you are in very good hands. And it's just been a pleasure to work side by side with Francis and the leadership team at Wesley Willows. So thank you, and just have a great afternoon.
I can move this down here for both of us. Next up is our CEO, Frances Salinas, and she's going to talk more about vision. Do you have a vision board?
I have it posted right here. Our new
Okay.
vision statement, that's a good segue.
Thank you.
So we're finally ebbing and flowing here, and now you're leading.
Gail, you and I have some work to do. Good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to be here. I actually have to type some notes because I have quite a few things to share with you that I'm very excited about. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Frances Salinas. I have been here almost 3 full years. Can you believe it? Yes, 2 years, July 1st as the CEO, your president and CEO. I am happy to say that I want to first thank Denny. Denny has been very supportive as a board member, especially for carrying out and finalizing our strategic plan. I'm excited to share some of the highlights with you, and the process began September of last year, where we engaged a consultant help us with a strategy. She interviewed all my board members. We had our first ever board retreat in January of this year. We presented a draft of the strategic plan in March at the March board meeting, and the full board approved it just last week at the May board meeting. So we now have a final strategic plan for the next 5 years. We were so creative, we called it Vision 2030. This is our new vision statement. I want you to take a look at it and just take it in. We inspire the well-being and life journey of those who live and work in our communities. So that's all of you, all of the wonderful staff that you just heard from, a few of our great nurses that are here, and our community. We also have an obligation to our community, where we live, Rockford community, right? So we want to be good partners. So, vision statement, and the vision plan is about like 4 pages. I'm not going to read it all to you, but I just want to give you some highlights that some of you have heard me when I'm up here talking about, this is what we're working on, this is what we're working on. We engaged a marketing firm called 519, and they came to do what they called emerging sessions. Some of you here in the audience were part of those sessions. We took the feedback from the residents, from some of our staff, and we got to work to put together vision statement and to put together a strategic plan. I'm just going to share 3 overall large core strategies. One of them, we want to foster a culture of well-being. Well, what does that mean? We all love Coach Jill, right? She does a good job with keeping us healthy. We want to expand those programs to support physical, emotional, and spiritual health as well. From enhancing our fitness programs to lifelong learning to faith-based engagement, our goal is to be proactive, not reactive. How many of you remember when you end up in the nursing home? Oh no, I don't want to go in a nursing home. It's because of a situation that happened. You had a fall, diabetes was out of control. You entered into the skilled nursing home because of an episode that could have probably been prevented if offered these preventative health services, which is the focus that we here at Wesley Willows are going to engage in over the next 5 years. We want to be more proactive. How many of you want to age in place? Right? Okay, how many of you want to go to the nursing home? See my point? Again, we also want to work at building a cognitive wellness brand. What does that mean? We're leading heavily into offering further memory support and brain health. Again, being proactive, not reactive. So much research has been done, and I'm very fortunate to have a team that is delving into the memory wellness, the new science, if you will, that's out there to slow down the dementia process and possibly prevent it. Again, cutting edge. We also expect the new initiatives to, again, stimulate the mind and support neurodiverse residents. Some residents with ADHD that might have, a need for different programming. We want to be as inclusive and as proactive in treating all of our residents as we can. And lastly, we want to create an integrated healthcare system. Again, being proactive, offering you the services right to your door, or possibly a memory wellness clinic, or possibly just a clinic where you can come. I'm not feeling very well, I don't feel like driving to the hospital. We'll have a clinic with, we're hoping to have physicians, nurse practitioners, staff that can be dedicated to offering those services to you at home, or if you need to come into a clinic that'll be on site here. That's the plan. We're trying to align the services across all levels of care, from independent to skilled. What else? Many of you have heard me talk about offering new dining venues. As you are aware, we brought the dining program in-house. This allows us to be more flexible, more creative, and offer more choices. We're trying to reimagine how and where we eat, because let's face it, food brings us together, right? There's talks about having new venues, and talks with our executive chef, Chef Michael, and with our Director of Culinary Operations, Annie Bowles. They're looking at new venues and possibly teaching kitchens, which they try to host a few here, but we want to have it a little bit more robust. Again, to encourage that social connection and healthier choices, right? You are what you eat is what we were told. More flexible options, more community, more flavor. And lastly, we're investing heavily on technology so that you can continue to age in place safely. We're investing technology to support independence. Some of the future homes, we want to look at smart sensors to detect movement or falls. Some of you don't carry those pendants. So if you have a smart sensor that can detect, oh, so-and-so fell, we detected a fall, we're gonna pair that with voice assistance for easy communication, because you might not have that pendant on you. Might be a voice assistant, yes, I'm looking at you. And we also want to look at something as simple as automated lighting to reduce your fall risks. I'm personally guilty of that. When my lights are off, I've tripped a few times carrying things in because I couldn't get the switch on. I now have Alexa, my friend Alexa, and I walk in my house and I say, Alexa, turn on the lights. Thank you. She hasn't answered me, you're welcome yet. It's okay. Turns on the lights. Again, our goal is to empower all of you to live safely and comfortably in your homes and to live healthier longer. You'll hear me from time to time talk about longevity communities, and that's what we're trying to create here, longevity communities to help you live healthier longer. Okay? I won't bore you anymore with more of my strategic plan. I want to again thank you, Denny, for taking the time to come here and talk to my wonderful residents. Right, I will leave you with that now. Where's Carolyn? I don't have your agenda here. Congratulations.
All right, I have to take off now. Back to work I go.
Okay, new residents. Mary.
My name is Mary Griffith, and along with Joella Warner, I'm privileged to be one of the welcomers for the homes on the east side. Today, I'm pleased to have the opportunity to introduce you to Paul and Terry Lindstrom. They're over here on the wall. They recently moved to 2872 Embury from Leaf River, where they lived for over 40 years. Paul was originally employed in farming, but switched careers and actually retired after leading modernization projects for the Rockford Housing Authority. Terry was a public health nurse, but said she loved being a farm wife. They raised 3 children and enjoy a number of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. They've been active in Lions International, and Paul was a 50-year member. He also served a term as district governor for the state of Illinois. They frequently enjoyed fishing and time spent on the water in Wisconsin. Please help me welcome Paul and Terry to Wesley Willows.
And then from the suite, Nancy Woolley is here. There you are.
My name is Nancy Woolley, and I am having the pleasure today to introduce two new residents, both women, both with quite interesting backgrounds and lives. I will now introduce Pat Renfro. Pat was born in Rockford, but her family moved to Chicago during her childhood, and she completed her education through high school there. In 1960, she met and married her husband John, who worked on the Illinois Central Railroad as a police officer. Some years later, John was transferred to Rockford, where they raised their two sons. He left the railroad and took a position as an officer in the Winnebago Sheriff's Office. Pat was a homemaker until their younger son completed high school and then took a job as a medical receptionist for the next 20 years. After living in Rockford for 30 years, the family moved to Roscoe, where they lived for the next 23 years. John retired for the first time in 1992. Now, here's kind of a twist in the story that I just love. After a more or less traditional life together, Pat and John then fulfilled their dream. They moved to Canada and together managed a fly-in fishing resort until their second retirement and returned to Rockford 6 years later. Pat refers to herself as the chief cook and bottle washer for this business, as she kept the books and did the housekeeping. Pat maintains close relationships with her two sons and their families who live in the area. Pat is a grandmother of 3 and great-grandmother of 4. She is an active member of Hope Church in Roscoe. Her hobbies are reading, crocheting, and physical exercise as her health permits. She's looking forward to new opportunities for new friends and activities here at Wesley Willows. Please join me in saying welcome to Pat. Marilyn, you want to come on? Thank you. Okay, here I am again with and able to introduce a new resident, this time Marilyn Harzog. Marilyn wrote such a wonderful profile when she was first here, introducing herself. She's pretty well done my job for me. So in many of her own words, I will start out saying Marilyn was born, grew up, and attended schools in Alton, Illinois, on the Mississippi River. She was active in school and also in community groups and programs. She was a Girl Scout through her high school years and today is a life member of the Girl Scouts and has served as historian for over 10 years. Marilyn earned her BA degree in English from Millikan University in Decatur and MA in Guidance and Counseling from the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. She has worked at various colleges as an assistant dean of students, a residence halls coordinator, an admissions representative, a purchasing agent, and a conference coordinator. She moved to Rockford in 1971 to begin work at Rockford College. Marilyn has a daughter and son-in-law living in Majestic Park. She discovered she had a talent for stenciling and opened a gift and stenciling shop in Victorian Village. She has taught stenciling at Rock Valley College as part of their continuing education program. As a member of the board at Tinker's Swiss Cottage, she developed an ivy stencil used in their gift shop and was responsible for the restoration of the stenciling in the Red Room. Marilyn also remained active in Girl Scouting as a membership specialist for the Rock Valley Girl Scouts here in Rockford. She loves singing and was a member of her church choir for many years. She helped to found the Friends of Folk Music, a group that sponsored several festivals at Midway Village in the 1980s. She retired in 2011 after working as a guidance counselor at Auburn High School. If you have time after the meeting, please stop by and see the plaque I persuaded her to bring today. And demonstrates her beautiful workmanship that earned her a national certificate in stenciling. She is looking forward to making new friends and taking on new adventures. Please join me in welcoming Marilyn Harlow.
Thank you so much. Announcement, our announcements are all backwards today, so work with me. Chris Brady is first. Chris?
I'm right here.
Hi.
Am I coming up? Am I staying back here? I can.
Oh no, you come up.
I thought you were gonna play like the Grease thing, and then
We can't do two things at once. We're old people.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, how are you all? This is good. Hey, I'm just here to talk to you about your event coming up that is on July 20th, a performance of Grease at Rock Valley College Starlight Theater. How many of you know what Starlight is? I know, I love that. That was just for my affirmation, thank you. Kimberly Rogers, you know more about it than most, yeah? You did musicals? What was your last musical there?
Probably My Fair Lady or Music Man or one of those. It would have been in the 80s.
Oh yeah, those were good years. Those were good years for it.
They were my best years.
Mine too. It's been downhill since the 80s for me. And I assume most of you know what Grease is? Yeah, okay, good. So, you know it's based in the 50s. How many of you remember the 50s? Yeah, just checking. All of us, good. So we know how horrid a time that was, yeah? I didn't expect anybody to agree with me on that. So how many of you are going? Are going to Greece, sorry, not to the 50s. Okay. So it looks like we need a lot more people to come on out because, so I'm here to sell out. I was given, what, about an hour, 2 hours to speak? Yeah, she said 3 to 5 minutes. I'm here to sell you on it, and really it's an easy sell. If you know Grease, it's just a fantastic musical. It's lively, there's tons of dancing, it's beautiful. We auditioned for a cast in early March, and we've been rehearsing since. So we've got people that have been rehearsing long hours to put in on a fantastic show. It's a cast of about 50. So that's one of our medium casts right there. Neither too big nor too small. And rehearsals take place for Grease 8 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock at night. Just in case you were all hoping to be a part of it, I just wanted to set expectations real quick. We do have late night rehearsals, but what this means is people younger than me have been rehearsing long hours to put on a fantastic musical. And they are succeeding. I watched the designer run, they are fantastic. We also have, we have built Grease Lightning, the car itself. Yeah, and when I say we, I didn't touch it, but we have a person, John Turner, who's just really good with cars, and we bought the car from the movie, but it's too big, even for our stage, and so we cut it and spliced it, and put it together, you can't even tell. It just looks awesome. And then it's on like a hover round that drives it around, so Grease Lightning is going to be really spectacular on there too, along with everything else. So I'm just here to encourage you to come out. I don't know what ticket prices are here because I do Rock Valley College Starlight Theater. So, but you should talk to the powers that be about coming to Grease out there on the 20th because it's going to be a fantastic show. If you've ever seen shows out of Starlight, it is an experience. And if you've ever been to the Wesley Willows show, even better. Because they've got food and popsicles. So that makes it better, right? Anyway, thank you for allowing me to come. Thank you, and July 20th, that's the show you're looking for Grease. Come on out, everybody. It's going to be great to see you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Patty? By the way, Patty's talking about my very favorite thing on campus.
Well, it was mine too until Francis says you are what you eat. And I don't feel melty today. So. Your auxiliary is sponsoring the Ice Cream Social on Thursday, June 19th, just 3 weeks away. I can't control the weather, but I can control the quality of the ice cream. This is homemade vanilla, chocolate, strawberries, cookies and cream, or a bowl of mix and match. Okay? This is your auxiliary putting this on for all the residents to enjoy. We appreciate what you do in helping us raise dollars for the Good Samaritan Fund and for activities for residents. So don't forget, J&C Old Fashioned Ice Cream Truck is going to be here. We're doing 3 locations to make it convenient. If you live on the east side, it'll be right around the corner in front of Decor and More. If you live in the suites, we're going to be down by the door of phase 1. If you live in the homes over on the west side, we're going to be at the parking lot between the dog park and the garden center. Okay. Beautiful day, June 19th. Think positive. Think positive. And then my ask is, I need a couple volunteers. So what I did is I brought the equipment that you need to be able to operate so that you can see this clearly. 1 pen attached to a clipboard. Pre-made out order blanks. This facilitates, so as a volunteer you will say, hi, what flavor? And when they hem and haw, which they will, so you just circle it and then give them the ticket. And so when they get up to the window and Chris and John are there to dish it up for you, it runs very smoothly. Got it? Questions? A time. Do you not read the green bag? It hasn't been in there yet. We're going to be over by Decor and More at 12:30 for 1 hour. Then we'll transition across at the town center from 1:45 to 2:45, bundle everything up, go to the garden and the dog park from 3 to 4. You snooze, you lose. I'm looking at one person and you know, he came 2 out of the 3 locations to eat ice cream. I didn't say you're limited to 1, but I'm just saying, I know who you are. Okay? I'll be here after the meeting, so if you're interested in helping out that day, just let me know. Thanks. Okay, Ellen.
Hi, I'm Ellen Fuchs, and I coordinate the bus transportation to concerts on the creek. I was not going to make an announcement today because things have been going well and people have been going on their own, people have been going on the bus, but something changed last week that made me feel like I needed to make an announcement to everyone. Normally, if you've ridden on the bus, you know that what I do is I collect your names, I set up transportation, and then a few days before the concert, I email Ron Holm, who is part of Trinidora, but I contact him and tell him we have 15 people coming on the bus. And he will reserve that number of spaces at the concert for us. We don't have to sign up ahead of time. Some of you do sign up online ahead of time, and they have your name when you go in and you've already paid your money or you give more, but your name is there at the desk when you go to the concert. We just go in and say, here we are, Wesley Willows, we've got 15 people. And that has worked out very well so far. However, this year, different than any other year, they are selling tickets for their August 23rd Icon Reunion. Now this is Denny Diamond, Chip Messinger, Trinidora to do a Neil Diamond, John Denver, Patsy Cline, Linda Ronstadt, Roy Orbison, big concert. Years ago, this was done down at the Nordlof Center, where it was a big attraction. And in the last few years, they've done it out at Concerts on the Creek. Sadly, there's not enough room to house everybody that wants to get there. So this year, they decided to sell tickets. And the tickets are $10. They've been selling them at every concert so far. And as of now, as of last week, they had sold 112 tickets for the 3 o'clock August 23rd concert. And he was reserving out 30 seats for Wesley Willows. But a lot of you have already purchased them as you've gone. And I personally didn't think that was really fair because people are buying them online. So what I told Ron in an email the other day is we would come and at the Denny Diamond concert on June 21st, which we will be taking a bus for. It's not in the green bag yet, but it will be. We will be buying our $10 tickets there if we want them for the August 23rd. And after that, I'm gonna say I'm releasing the rest of the Wesley Willows tickets. So if you wanna talk to me, I'm happy to get a ticket for you. If you want me to do that for you, I know it's a little more confusing, but they're gonna sell out and maybe have to do an evening performance as well. And so that's why I'm making this announcement for the August. We're talking 2 months away, and they're already almost sold out. So if you want a $10 ticket for the August 23rd performance, contact me. I'm in the green bag when it has the information about the concerts on the Creek. I guess very confusing, and I'm sorry, but I just feel like I have to do that. So, question? Nope. If you already have your tickets, and that's why I was concerned. He said, should I still be reserving 30 tickets? And I thought, I've already heard that a lot of people have bought the tickets. I didn't want him to save out 30 spaces when maybe it'll only be 10 of us still, getting them. So if you've bought tickets ahead of time, great. If you want to go online, even better, and just get the tickets ahead of time, and then I won't have to worry about it. And you can, yes, I will be doing an August 23rd daytime 3 o'clock bus, and I will only be taking people who have gotten tickets at that point because we aren't gonna otherwise be able to get in. Sorry if it made it confusing, but got it? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We are, before we call administration, last month at this meeting, I lose things. I lose a lot of things. I lose pens. You can see I gained pens. I had a small, this size, purple and green quilted pouch that had a zipper on it. Now, when we were kids, we would have used them for pencil cases. I use it for the jump drive for the slides. And it has disappeared. I was the last one that touched it. I don't have it. So if anybody has it, I would really appreciate the returning of the pouch that was handmade for me and the jump drive because it's got a year's worth of stuff on it. So if you see it, please let me know. Now, it is time for administration. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. Thank you. Hello, everyone. How are you today? I am Melissa Wright. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for Wesley Willows and our other two lovely communities. I want to talk a little bit about some resident referral bonuses and a special opportunity. I've got 3 on my list to give resident referrals to, but I don't have any money today. Right? 1, they said, oh, we can't come to the resident the resident council meeting today. Can we do this in June? I said, yes, absolutely. The other gentleman I called, and he said, thank you so much. I'm so glad my friend moved to Wesley Willows. Please take my $500 and donate it to the Good Samaritan Fund. Fantastic, right? Love that. And then the other gentleman that moved here that was a resident referral, he has been in our database for a long time. And the gentleman that referred him is no longer with us. So, we still thank him in our prayers, and goes to show, we never stop tracking what's going on here, okay? The other thing that I want to talk about is that this year, Wesley Willows is a sponsor of the Anderson Japanese Gardens Tuesday Music in the Gardens. Has anybody ever been there? Has anybody ever gone to that? It's very nice. It's very nicely done, very nicely put together, and the entertainment that they have there is also really great. All over the country, they bring people in. So as a sponsor, we're given some free tickets. So one of the things I'd like to offer is if you have somebody in the back of your mind that you really want to turn in as a resident referral, do that now. And I'll give you free tickets for 2 to the Anderson Gardens concerts. You can tell me kind of your level of what you think we should reach out to that person with. Maybe it's just a call that says, hi, my name's Melissa. I'm here at Wesley Willows. If you ever decide you want to learn more, give me a call, okay? Some people want a packet, some people want an email, some people want to just know that we're here and that we've said hello. So we can do that on a couple different wavelengths, and we won't call your friends nonstop until they give us a deposit check. We know how to keep our distance there if need be. So there was an announcement that went out in last week's green bag. I noticed it was cut off a little bit, but if you have someone for a resident referral, please stop by our office. You can call me, you can email me. We'll get you tickets to Anderson Gardens, and we will also still give you the $500 resident referral bonus if your referral does end up moving in the future. So, any questions on that? No? Wonderful. Have a lovely afternoon.
Hello, everyone. I am so happy that maintenance followed directions and set up extra chairs. Good group of people here, outstanding. My name is Brandon Burkle. I'm the Corporate Director of Facilities and Grounds. So I oversee maintenance on this campus, Peterson Meadows, and Highview in the Woodlands. So very exciting stuff. All right, for the month of April, we have our nice slideshow. I love that. We had 1,660 total work orders created, and I'll explain why those numbers are up a little bit, obviously. We completed 1,538 of those. We have 27 pending and 95 new. So obviously our total work orders are higher because preventive maintenance, we've been talking about that for a couple months now. So we have about 300 extra work orders there that get triggered in April, and that's why we have more work orders and we have more new still. There's still some in that new category. I checked before I came in, and with our new maintenance care program, we can track all of that live. So I know that we still have about 52 of those out there to be completed this week. So we're gonna do our best to get those completed by the end of the month as promised, but if we're not there this week, I can assure you we'll be there next week. So out of those little percentages, we had 72% were completed within 1 day, so that's a good number. And then 78 within that 1 to 3 total up to 3 days. So again, considering the amount of work orders that we're doing extra this month, those are still pretty outstanding. Guys are doing a great job. All right, so speaking of work orders, we've been talking about the QR code. Raise your hand if you've used the QR code. Well, that's pretty good, not bad. So if you haven't heard about that, that's a QR code that sends you to basically our online portal to enter in your own work orders. So we're really, trying to push that. So that was at the request of the residents that wanted to have the ability to enter in their own work orders and not have to pick up that phone. Maybe it's an after hours thing and your light bulb goes out at 10 o'clock at night and you don't want to have to wait till the next morning. So you can use that QR code to enter in your own work order. We'll continue to send those out in the green bag so you have that link. And if you have any issues with that, let me know. I talked about PMs. I'm not going to hit on that again. We have about 50 out there, so we're good there. Landscaping. Jeff's crew is all done mulching, as he tells me. So I think we're good there. They're over at the Peterson Meadows campus, so they better be done over here. We've got some seeding work to do. That's kind of next on the radar from the snow damage and that sort of stuff. And then he's got a list of resident requests and work orders that we're working through too. So if you've been on that list for a bit, if you want to give me a call and make sure you're at the top, please feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. And then irrigation. Irrigation, we initially we started up that system and then we turned it off until we need it. We need it. This is a pretty dry spring, kind of abnormal. Where's Ken? Right? Right. We need some rain, Ken? Yep. Yeah. So you guys are my eyes and ears with that. Jeff does a great job at driving through the campus and seeing those turf areas. Where is he at? I had an email this week. I see it over there. He should send me a picture of the backyard. All dry, obviously could have been something going on. So, if you see those dry areas in your yards, let me know. I don't see everything, so keep us updated on that. Been a lot of questions about seal coating. Who wants to have some seal coating done? All right, good. Brent and Francis approved a plan for that for the West Campus. We're gonna start back up on the west side of Rockton. So the plan is to do all the roads and driveways on the West Campus. We're looking at dates in July. So we'll put out a full plan for that, and then we'll send that out in the green bag. Was there a question on seal coating?
Yes, there's an impressive pothole at the corner of Hillary and Westfield Drive.
It's down here. You're jumping way ahead of me. Okay, I'll hit on that. So that quote for that repair has been approved. We're just waiting on the contractor to schedule that. I don't have a date, but I would guess it would be by the end of next week. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Did anybody hear that? That was a repair on Embry Road repair. There's a big pothole you have to swerve and kind of get out of the way. Okay. Concrete work. So we also approved some concrete work on the East Campus. We're replacing the sidewalk outside of Medicare, between Medicare and Hunt Terrace. We're going to do sidewalk, curb and gutter, kind of some improvements there with some ADA ramps and all that as well. That could happen late June here. I'm talking about right now, I wish we'd have done all that in the last 3 weeks when we haven't had much rain. Now I'm going to plan all these projects and guess what's going to happen? It's going to rain. Which is okay, we'll make it work. And then the last thing I had, the pool closure. So we're closing the pool June 12th through the 16th. So that should have went out in the green bag, I believe. Just keep an eye on those dates. We're just doing a full-blown kind of cleaning, trying to get a lot of that rust build up and everything taken care of. So those dates are locked in and we're ready to go on that. Any questions for me? Go ahead. New roofs, good question.
What's the plan? Why is it hopscotch?
Yeah.
Hopscotching?
Glad you asked that.
How much notice do we get?
Yep. So roofs. So we did. I think we did 5 buildings recently with C.J. Whiteford. Those were the roofs that we tagged as the worst of the west side, basically. So we have ages of every building. So we know the oldest, but that didn't necessarily mean that was the worst roof, the oldest, ironically. So a lot of that depends on which direction the building faces, how it held up, and that was just a recommendation from our roofer. But we've laid out a plan to do 5 buildings per year for the next, I can't remember what it was, 15 years or something like that, so that all of the roofs on the west campus will be no more than 20, I think it was like 24 years old or something like that. So there would be plenty of notice when your roof's done, but I will tell you that we are done for, we'll do 5 more buildings next fiscal year, probably not till next spring. We'll see how that plays out. Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Story, and I'm the executive director. And as I like to do for the new folks in the room, I always start out with an occupancy report. So that's what I'll do. And Nancy, I'm putting on my glasses too. So for Willow Ridge East homes, we don't have any available, which is a good thing. We do have 3 on hold, so we'll be having 3 new residents on the east side. And then this is really going to shock you as well. For west side homes, we only have 2 available. We have 8 on hold. So just as a point of reference, put that in perspective a little bit. We have 283 homes from a combination of east side and west side. And we only have 2 available. So that's something. That's great. So was looking forward to sharing that with you today. Suites 1, we have 6 available in that building, 0 on hold. Suites 2, we have 7 available, 1 on hold. Suites 3, we have 1 available, 0 on hold. And in Willows Arbor, we have 31 apartments available and 3 on hold. And that is a total occupancy of our campus at 90%. Marketing team is doing a great job. Brooklyn had to leave, so I'm gonna try to advance my own slides too. All right, I wanted to give you an update. You know, when we did the resident survey satisfaction surveys a while back, one of the requests was, you know, to keep you informed of what is going on around campus in the health center, and a request to do some updates in the health center. So I'm happy to report that we have redone our E-wing dining room in our health center. And if you're not too familiar with where that is, it's in between Harbor Lights and Hunt Terrace on the 2nd floor of the health center. And so I have some before and after pictures for you. I thought that might help. I'm a visual person, so I figure that helps. So you can see, you know, the before, you know, we had some kind of dark colors. We had valances. And so what maintenance did was canister lights, some paint goes a long way. We updated the window furnishings. We put some new decorations in there, made it a lot more modern and uplifting and bright. The residents that utilize that dining room are thrilled. They like it very much. So you can see it's quite a difference. And the other picture, you can also tell this is kind of the front of the dining room. So great job to maintenance and dining and housekeeping and all of the departments that were involved in that. It really looks so good. All right. For other health center updates, I did want to also mention that we have brand new beds in our Medicare unit. And we also have new lift chairs coming. So we're excited about that. We're waiting patiently for them, right, Carrie?
Not patiently.
They're kind of in back order, and we're like, okay, any minute would be great. So we can't wait to get them. We're excited. So just keeping you informed of those. All right, and my last thing today is just a little bit more detail on the box office benefit. So I did say on the flyer that the food would be announced at a later date. Well, I'm going to announce that today. So we're going to be doing it a little bit different this year. It's going to be bento boxes. And so you would have a choice of street tacos with Mexican corn salad and cilantro lime slaw, or a grilled chicken Caesar wrap with tomato cucumber pasta salad. Choice of one of those two, dessert bars, and then also there will be bottled water and lemonade. We are selling tickets after the resident council meeting today, downstairs in the lobby if you are interested. It is $80 for the show and food. If you get the tickets before July 1st, that's kind of our early bird special. After July 1st, it's $90 per ticket for show and food, and then if you just want to do the show, it's $50. Of course, some of those funds go to the Good Samaritan Fund. I've gotten a lot of questions about, well, what if I want to donate more than one the ticket? Well, of course you can donate. No problem, we got you covered. So you can do that in a couple different ways. We're going to have some boxes down in at the guest services area, both at the Castletown Center and the Arbor, with envelopes available, and there'll be a sign that says donation, a donation box. You can also donate online, so whichever you'd like to do. Any questions for me? So the question was, will we get an invitation like we usually do for the box office benefit? Thank you for your question. It is a little bit different this year, so we are trying to save some costs in printing and kind of doing things a little bit more efficiently to save those costs, so that more goes to the Good Samaritan Fund. So we are just doing a flyer in the green bag, advertising it like this. So there will be no formal invitation like there has been in the past. So we're doing it.
So how do we really get them tickets?
Yes, so you will get the tickets, the physical tickets when you purchase them. So for example, downstairs today, Val and Brooke are selling tickets. They actually have the tickets to the show, and they have food tickets. So as you write your check or give cash for the ticket, then they'll give those both to you at that time. If you can't make it down today, then tickets will be sold at both of the guest services desks at any time. So you can purchase those at the guest services or at both buildings. So a little bit more simplified this year. Okay, any other questions? Well, I hope that you all come. It's going to be a wonderful day, and it's going to be lovely weather. Right? Well, have a great afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
I am looking to adjourn the meeting, and there's my buddy. Okay, it is adjourned. We will see you next month.